It's the Mustang Insider Show.
All right, well, the Cal Poly softball season right around the corner, right on the cusp here of opening up the college softball season. Jenny Condon is the Mustang head coach, three-time Big West Coach of the Year, embarking on her 19th season as the head coach here at Cal Poly. Coach, thanks for taking some time. I know it's getting right down to it. Opening day, I'm sure the calendar, those days are getting slimmer and slimmer. How excited are you guys for this new 2023 season to get underway?
We're super excited. We've got a great group, just really dedicated. They've been working hard in the classroom, with their conditioning, their skill set. There's someone always in the cages or, out on the field taking ground balls. And, like I told you, they've been practicing against each other forever. They're thrilled to be seeing another opponent.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I mean, right out of the gate, you've got Nevada and North Dakota coming in. You'll get 5 games under your belt over the first weekend, part of 2 tournaments that'll be hosted at Bob Jansen Field this season. I mean, you look at this schedule, 48 games on the docket, 26 of them here at home in San Luis Obispo. And for the first time in program history, the 2 tournaments at Bob Jansen Field. How did all of that come together? And in your 19 seasons, can you recall such a home-heavy schedule?
No, never. And we're really excited for it. And I think we're hoping that it plays out in our favor. It's always nice to be at home with your home fans and sleep in your own bed. And, traditionally we've been on the road for the first 4 weeks, and then we have a home tournament, and then we jump into conference. So we're hoping that this setup will work a little bit better for us, and we'll be able to have a little bit more success being able to be home for a longer stint during the preseason.
Yeah, obviously it's important to win your home games even early in the season. I know all of the non-conference schedule is to best prepare you guys for the Big West slate. Now, speaking of the Big West, you've got a very familiar name in Big West softball that you added to your staff in the offseason, working with your pitchers, Bree. I need a little help with the last name here. Galisa now? Did I get that right?
Galisi now. Yes.
Yeah, Bree Galisa now. Longtime head coach at UC Santa Barbara. She was a 2-time Big West Coach of the Year down south against the rival Gauchos. But now on your staff here at Cal Poly, what does she bring to the table, and how did all of that come together for you guys in the offseason?
She's brought just like her experience, and she's been where I am, so she has a little bit different perspective from that. I mean, going from being a head coach to an assistant, it's definitely a transition for her, but it's something that she's embraced. Playing against her for so many years, we've battled in the blue-green rivalry, every year, and we seem to struggle playing against them. And I just think she has done such a fantastic job with her pitchers. And, we've got a super young pitching staff this year. We've got 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores, and she's come in and really embraced that role. And she's a phenomenal teacher. She's super composed. She's a student of the game. She studies opponents. She studies the hitters. She studies the pitchers. She brings a really cerebral aspect to the pitching circle. And the kids have thrived in that environment. And, the saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And so I feel like part of that is we're blessed that she was willing to take the chance on us and our program. And she's been just such a great compliment to the coaching staff that we have. And she's stepped right in, and the kids love her. I mean, she's doing a fantastic job for us.
Jenny Condon of Cal Poly Softball, our guest on the Mustang Insider. The new season opens up February 10th at Bob Jansen Field right here in San Luis Obispo. Now, Coach, I'm sure you've seen the preseason poll. What are your thoughts on the conference this season as a whole? Of course, Cal State Fullerton, they've been the gold standard of late in the Big West.
Yeah, actually, I just saw it. I just had a quick glance at it, so I haven't really seen it. I saw that I think we're 6. I don't know. We've got so many changes in the conference. We have a lot of teams in our conference that have quite a few transfers. And so it's really tough to really kind of gauge who's going to do what. Absolutely, Fullerton should be at the top because, you know, they've proven it for the last however many years that they've been able to get it done. And so the preseason poll shakes out, you know, pretty close to what I would think it would be. But you know, we've talked about it a couple times, and going into probably the second to last weekend, almost every team was in the hunt for the first couple spots in the conference. And so I think it's going to be a battle again, and we're going to have to show up every weekend and just compete. You know, we were in it until probably the third to the last weekend. And then we, you know, stubbed our toe, but I'm excited to see what the other teams in our conference have. I'm excited to watch them play, you know, their preseason tournaments. And I think everybody's, you know, has some really challenging games against some top 10 opponents, and then some other games that are going to give you a little bit better kind of gauge maybe how we're going to stack up against Big West teams. So I think all the teams have done a good job balancing schedules and, you know, basically setting themselves up. And we did the same, you know, for conference and to be ready to go by conference.
Coach, speaking of schedules, we mentioned the home heavy schedule for you guys. Most home games you've had in your 19 seasons as the head coach, in large part to the Central Coast Classic and the Mustang Classic tournament that you guys are playing host for, including the opening weekend. You'll get 5 games, North Dakota, Nevada. Then you've got Idaho State coming here for 2. You had a 10-8 record at home last season. With more home games on the docket this year, how important will it be for your team to take care of business out of the gate? I know you guys got off to a slow start last season, but then once conference play hit, I mean, you had the sweep at Hawaii, the sweep at Cal State Bakersfield. You took 2 of 3 here against the Gauchos. You took 2 of 3 here against Long Beach State. But how important will it be for this group to just get off to a better start, win some more games in February, so by the time you get to March and April, it's something that you guys have had a handle on?
It's really important. And I think, you know, that opening weekend, the Central Coast Classic, is going to really set the tone for us. You know, and I think a big part of that is building their confidence. You know, we started out really slowly last year, and that was a challenge until we kind of figured it out and realized, oh, wait, we can do this. We can compete with anybody. And so this team has worked so hard. So to come out of the gates at the beginning and being able to be at home, hopefully, you know, we come out on the right end of some of those games, if not all those games. That'd be great. And I think just the momentum that we create by winning early is going to carry over throughout the season.
Now, Bob Jansen Field, obviously right across the concourse from Baggett Stadium, where the baseball team plays. And I mean, it's hard to beat the backdrop of both Baggett Stadium and Bob Jansen Field. How excited are you to kind of show that off a little bit more this season with more home games and maybe some opponents that are coming out here for the first time in a while?
We're really excited about it. You know, with all the rain that we've gotten, it's even prettier because the hills are green. And so, you know, but we're just so proud of this campus and this sports complex that we have, and our facilities are, you know, top notch. And we've got some new teams that haven't been here before. So we're definitely excited to show the rest of the country kind of our little piece of paradise.
Jenny Condon with us, the Cal Poly softball head coach, embarking on her 19th season at the helm of the program. Now, Jessica Clements, redshirt sophomore outfielder for you guys last season. She landed on the preseason Big West list after winning Big West Freshman of the Year. She was first team all-conference last season. She was top 60 in the country in batting average, hit .396. What makes her such a tough out when she comes up to the batter's box? And how much of a catalyst is she for your offense, just getting on base as much as she does?
Yes, she really is a great ball player for us on both sides of the ball. She's a great outfielder, and she's a phenomenal hitter. She's got a great eye. She's got good bat control. She can drop a bunt. She can slap. She can swing. You know, she's a 5-tool player for us. And she redshirted her freshman year coming off ankle surgery. And even last year, she wasn't at full strength yet, but she, you know, being challenged not being able to play for the year, she actually really enhanced some of her areas that were a little bit weaker in the past. And so she's made her whole game that much better. And, you know, to have her in the leadoff spot at this point, she'll probably be our leadoff, but you know, she makes such great contact. We could move her around in the lineup and really put her wherever we need her, but she's been a great catalyst, like you said, in the one spot for us.
You know, looking up and down your roster, I mean, you've got just one senior on this team. And I know you have a lot of confidence in this group. They're younger. You mentioned your young pitchers, all freshmen, sophomores. Are there any newcomers to this team that you feel like can make a big impact out of the gate?
Yeah, I think we've got some freshmen that are going to come in and make a big impact. I think Sophia Ramuno is going to be throwing quite a few innings for us in the circle. You know, all of the freshman pitchers will pitch for us. They'll eat up innings. I think Kiki Blanchard in the outfield and Mylena Garza at third base. There'll be some bats for us. We lost quite a bit of our offense last year that graduated. And so they'll come in and they'll step in and, you know, they're not going to replace them, but I think they're going to make their mark eventually for us, if not right away.
How much has your recruiting philosophy changed in your 19 years? Because the game has changed, especially at this level. I mean, the transfer portal kind of threw a new wrinkle in there for everybody, new and old, to this whole Division I coaching thing. Have you utilized the portal, or do you still kind of like to go to the high school level, get these kids out of high school and kind of develop them into what you hope they can be for your program?
Well, we have traditionally, you know, had the freshmen and they come in and they stay for 4 years. We're not opposed to the portal by any stretch. Cal Poly is a place that people want to come and want to stay and get a great education. And so we don't tend to have a ton of players that leave the program. But I think with the transfer portal and with the NIL, I think it's just going to get crazier and crazier. We haven't had a ton of transfers. We're not opposed to it. We can bring a blue chip player in. We are all for it. Anything that we can do to make the program better, we're open to.
We've talked a lot about the 2 home tournaments in non-conference play, but you've always seemed to participate in some of those tough tournaments. I know you were mentioning earlier some of the best in the country. I'm looking at Missouri, UCLA, Florida, among others that are on the docket in both the Mary Nutter Classic and the Judy Garman Classic. How much does playing some of those top teams in the country that sometimes make it all the way to Oklahoma City help you guys best prepare for the Big West schedule?
I think it's great. I think it's great as long as there's balance. I mean, if we're going to play against those top 10 teams every game, it's going to get a little bit tough to keep your confidence. But I think it's great to see the players need to see, you know, the best of the best and what it looks like and what it takes. And, you know, and to see that they're playing the game just like we are. We play against the game. We're not playing against the opponent. And, you know, they're going to strike out. They're going to make errors. They're doing all the same things that we are. They're, you know, and so it kind of mortalizes them a little bit, and it makes them feel like, oh, okay, like they're putting their cleats on just like we are. They're doing all the same things. And so, you know, and I think it's if we go out and we, you know, get beat by a team, how did they beat us? What did they do? You know, they'll see that those top teams day in and day out, they're defensively making the plays. They're offensively swinging at good pitches. In the circle, they're making their pitches. And if they're missing, they're not missing over the middle of the plate. And, you know, when you're doing all of those things well, you're going to be successful. And, you know, we talk about in practice every day, but for them to see other teams do it, I think it's just another way to help them learn the game and learn how to, you know, manage the game and, you know, move on pitch to pitch and just really play one pitch at a time.
Coach, obviously there will be much more to be learned about this group as they go up against other competition. But from what you've seen in inter squads and practice and bullpen sessions, if you will, what does this team need to do to compete for a Big West title this season? What's the big key, or what are some keys for this Cal Poly softball team?
And we need to take care of the ball. I mean, obviously it starts in the circle. Our game is all about pitching. That's not being perfect. That's executing pitches. And then defensively, we've got to take care of the ball. It's going to get put in play. And so it's making the routine plays. It's staying calm, when the game gets tight. We had 10 games last year. We lost by 1 run. So it's really, and I talked about it, going pitch to pitch and our recovery and recovering quickly and not riding the emotional roller coaster. Our team's done a great job with that. We've had great energy. We've had great presence. We've been staying in the moment. And if we keep doing those things, I think that we're going to have some success this year.
Jenny Condon, Cal Poly softball head coach. Her 19th season at the helm of the Mustang program begins Friday, February 10th, as does the college softball season. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Really looking forward to lots and lots of home games at Bob Jansen. I know we've had a lot of rain for this area this winter, but hopefully it stays away on games where you guys are at home. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks so much.
Always great to catch up with Jenny Condon, head coach of Cal Poly softball. Plenty of opportunities to see the Mustangs on their home field this season. As always, we'd like to thank our partners for making this possible. Dignity Health, offering all-star treatment you can trust. Learn more about their healthcare services. dignityhealth.org/Central Coast. And Grocery Outlet. I mean, come on. What do they not have going on over there? Sizzling fajitas, hearty beef sliders, bite-sized mini taco cups. I'm thinking about leaving the podcast early to go get my shopping done at the Grocery Outlet on Madonna, featured in the Mustang Tailgater recipe book. You can find that at gopoly.com/publications. Download the Mustang Tailgater booklet today. Easy to get done, easy to accomplish. Grocery Outlet, Bargain Market on Madonna, place to be for all things Cal Poly Mustang Athletic Tailgater book. I mean, there's just so much to get there. Speaking of so much, we've got a lot to get to in the coming weeks here on Mustang Insider. We are on the verge of that crossover season where the spring sports are starting, the winter sports, those races are in the midst of their stretch runs. I'm talking about basketball as we get closer to the month of March. Wrestling is in the midst of their Pac-12 season, and you got softball and baseball getting ready to start. You got some other stuff as well all around the Cal Poly campus. So it's a great time for Cal Poly athletics. We will be featuring many of the football team. Much of that news, of course, with Sam Heward, the 5-star quarterback, committing and signing his financial aid waiver. It's been a huge offseason for Paul Wolf, embarking on his first season as the Cal Poly football head coach. Lots going on with signing day and hitting the transfer portal. I mean, just a lot of great things going on over there. So stay locked. Cal Poly Mustangs YouTube channel or art19.com just to listen to us. Until then, I'm Chris Sylvester. You've been locked into another Mustang Insider.
This has been the Mustang Insider Show. The preceding has been a Learfield's presentation on the Cal Poly Sports Network.